Was Jesus a communist, and would he choose to be a communist if he were here in the world today? We could answer this question very simply. Jesus' emphasis on charity proves he wouldn't have been a communist, and I'll explain why. The Bible expects believers to be generous and help people in need. Jesus emphasizes this fact in the Gospels, but he's talking to individuals. He never suggests that believers should create an economic or political system that controls the means of production and redistributes wealth. In heavily socialist and communist governments, the economy is largely planned by the authorities. The government controls key industries and regulates production and distribution. But for our question here, the state often takes control of welfare. Private giving can be discouraged, if not outlawed, especially in authoritarian regimes. Let's look at some historical examples. The former Soviet Union tried to eliminate charities and banned the ones with religious connections. In China, charities are heavily regulated and operate under strict government oversight. In places like North Korea, any form of private aid or charity is illegal because it undermines the state's monopoly on welfare. In Cuba, international charities can operate if they have government approval, but even in countries that allow aid from international organizations, transparency is a major problem. It's often very difficult to verify if assistance is actually reaching the intended recipients or if it's just being siphoned off by corrupt bureaucrats. With that in mind, here's a three-point argument why Jesus wouldn't be a communist today. First, Jesus taught voluntary giving. His teachings on charity in the Sermon on the Mount and the parable of the Good Samaritan emphasize personal responsibility and a willing heart. Neither he nor any biblical writer ever advocates for a system where welfare or charity is regulated by the state. Second, communist ideology is built around economic and class struggle, aiming to reshape society through state-enforced equality. Jesus showed virtually zero interest in these things, as evidenced by his statement, "My kingdom is not of this world." It's also important to note that neither Jesus nor any biblical writer ever endorses the redistribution of wealth. They do talk about freely giving to others who have physical needs, but the Bible never condemns the rich simply because they have lots of money. Abraham was fantastically wealthy, as were biblical kings, and even some New Testament figures like Lydia were very well-to-do. But nowhere are they ever told to surrender their fortunes. If there was ever a place in the Bible that this would have been mentioned, it's first and foremost in the teachings of Jesus, who never says anything about this. He simply instructs people to be charitable. The other place we might expect it is in the Hebrew prophets, who do condemn the rich for exploiting others and for using dishonest business practices. But they don't command the wealthy to redistribute their riches. Jesus focuses on personal responsibility, voluntary charity, generosity, and spiritual, not economic, transformation. Jesus expects individuals to give as they are able. Communist governments want control of the flow of money, including welfare and charity. Communism prioritizes material things, while Jesus emphasizes love and spiritual renewal. In a nutshell, that's why Jesus wouldn't be a communist today, and why no one else should be one either.